Check. I just want to say, Alan was talking earlier on, 2,500 children a year get took into social services in England, which is the highest number in all European countries. And we're supposed to be the most developed, and we're supposed to be the people who look after our kids most, but we don't. Obviously we don't. And also, right here now, there's a woman here, a mother here. I talked to her about 4 years ago, the day before she lost her kids. And this is why I fight so hard for our children. She lost them through a corrupt council and social services. She can tell you every detail, she can tell you who failed and everything. And that's one of the reasons that I fight so hard. Why do we just give up so easily on our kids? Why do we do that?
Because everybody stops us. It's not the giving up, they stop us. They obstruct us from getting justice. It's an obstruction of justice, it's a crime. They're not taking any allegations seriously. I keep reporting.
So,
report.
Let's talk money.
Nothing.
Let's talk money. GB News and BBC have mentioned 7 million for hotel money. That's 7 million a day.
Yes,
49 million a week. 2.5 billion plus a year. And it's coming out of all yours money, all their money, all the police's money, everyone over there, anybody who works, that's where that money comes from. And let me just tell you something, it does not come from above. Because if it did, why are they getting pay rises, MPs pay rises, Oldham councillors pay rises, while we're one of the most impoverished towns in the United Kingdom, and all these councillors getting pay rises. Meanwhile, you pay more for your money, more for your food, more for your bills, more for your energy, and all that lot. They don't pay any of that. They don't pay any of that. We pay it. Working class
we're paying everything,
taxpayer pays all that money.
Yeah, paying all your bills, yeah. I seen the little smirk then nodding your head saying we're paying all your hotels.
I mean, as we have seen already, people have lost jobs,
Are we going to kick off our
lost their homes, and all for people who come to this country who don't hold any kind of respect for British values or customs. And we can hear about it all the time, how we've done something bad in the past and all that, but I think Britain is one of the most tolerant countries in the world. One of the most tolerant countries in the world. We have took every race, ethnicity, religion and everything in the entire world, but you're still called racist, you're still called PC words. If you don't like that you're paying 2.5 billion a year, you're a racist. If you don't like it that you've lost your job in an hotel, you're a racist or a bigot. That's all they'll say to you. And as we know, if you're a Scouser and you're from Liverpool, I feel sorry for the Scousers, I really do. A big left-wing place, and we all seen the videos on social media. All the schools around Knowsley had warnings from the school to the parents about people trying to chat the kids up. What happened? Joanne Anderson, big fatty, Joanne Anderson, who's a bully, went out and called everybody racist.
Yeah, she's in Liverpool Council.
Protecting the kids, called everyone racist. Also, you had people like Michelle Smith, United the Union, convicted rock-throwing rioter, who were trying to grab people's phones and swearing at people and threatening them at Knowsley. This is what we have to put up with. All the while we're trying to protect our children. You know what I mean? Now, these are the things that we have to put up with. We need a thick skin for this. Yes, Daniel. In November 2021, it came to the attention of the Oldham public on social media that the Victoria Hotel, bottom end of South Chadderton, corner of Hollingwood, Failsworth, was accepting illegal immigrants in or migrants in. Thing was, council didn't say nothing till 2 days later. So you don't have a choice. You put up with it. That's what you do. You can't say nothing. If you say anything, you're a fucking racist.
Yeah! Using the race card like they have done to protect the
So you put up with it. You can't say anything.
Oh, so
Can't say anything.
racist.
Our council 2 days later did a
Look
statement
how
about it.
pathetic you sound.
And all the councils across the country are the same. They don't tell the people. You just put the hotels in
And
or
then the
just
kids
fill
are being
them up.
raped because everyone's
Kick everyone
racist.
out, and that's it. You've got no choice. But you do have a choice. You're the working class. You're the taxpayers. And you're the voters as well. We can vote these scumbags out.
I'm voting you.
In a couple of years we could vote them out if people stood forward and voted.
We want them held accountable for standing on these streets and ignoring the rape of our children. Every single officer that's been on this street.
It will, Angie, it will come.
Yes,
it will come.
Yeah,
it will come.
they should be hung as well. Because every
It
time they
certainly
do
will
nothing,
come.
another child gets raped.
So let's just sum it up now. You pay for all this, the taxpayer. Everything,
pay
that,
for the
not just the hotel. I said about the hotel bills, 2.5 billion a year. That's just hotel bills, transport, allowances, and all that lot. When you put all that money coming up, it's like 5 to 10 billion in a year. I mean, that's not far off over halfway of foreign aid that we send across the world. So you pay for that. Also, you don't have any say. I've told you that, you don't have any say. The council just fill these hotels up, you don't tell no one. You don't tell the public, just ignore you. And then when you say something, they call you a racist. You know what I mean? Honestly, you just couldn't make it up. Also, there's been job losses. People have been thrown out of hotels. People have been thrown out of their houses. Councils now are receiving money off the government to prioritise a housing for people who just come in 6 months ago. Not for you, who've lived here 50 years. Not for you, whose family goes back 150 generations or 150 years. You're last on the list. And that's a lot of councils. Oldham Council's list went from points-based to poverty overcrowding, which just kicked off 23,000 people off the housing list. So now your kids have to stay at home. Simple as. You've got to put up with them. They've got to stay at home. If they want an house, they'll be lucky to get an house on the amount of money they want for the first deposit and things like that. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. All the meanwhile, we're building houses, filling them up with people who just don't have any respect or anything for British culture. And again, I've got to stress, there's been many polls and things like that in Britain about Britain, and we are the most tolerant country in the world. Simple as, in the world. We put up with a lot, yeah? So it's about time we stood up and spoke out for ourselves.
We are.
I'm in the voting game and local councilling. And even if I don't get a local council seat, I will be the biggest thorn in my council's backside that they've ever seen.
Yes, go on, John.
Nobody can say nothing to me. Nobody does say anything to me. No one does say anything to me. I'm not a person who's easily intimidated. You can shout and scream at women and get them to move out of Oldham, but you'll be lucky to get me out. My feet are well dug in, you know what I mean? My roots are in Oldham, and that's where they're staying.
Yes, John.
No, they won't. The mum will sort them out.
When they find out we're helping kids, they will.
Besides all that, we've got tens of thousands of homeless on our streets. That's just homeless. Veterans, that runs into thousands as well. And a lot of people know I do a lot of work with the PTSD camp and veterans myself. And again, many people here, nearly everyone here, you'll know a family member or someone close to you who's been in the armed forces. Everyone does. I do. My family have been in the armed forces, so I do know. You know what I mean? What do? We just kick them out. Just leave them on the street, nobody bothers about them. But then we'll get somebody over here who's already been in trouble and murdered 2 people in another country. We let him in here and he murders someone over here. You just couldn't make it up how messed up our country is. Thank you very much. John Lawrence, National Housing Party.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Right, our final speaker